Welcome back to Brush Up Your Game, and today, Cosmic Encounter Power Showdown, round 13. We're getting there, promise. Alright, today we have, well, actually a little advantage here. We've started off, Remora has defeated Judge already, so it is Remora who leeches on, draws a card when you draw a card, gets a ship back from the warp when you get a ship back from the warp, up against Lemming. And Lemming is a new Odyssey power. Here we go. Here's the Lemming. Cute little artwork here, little lemmings. Lemming has the power to migrate. After the defense is determined, if you have 9 or more ships in the warp, you may use this power to move 4 of your ships out of the warp onto any planet in the defense's system where you do not have a foreign colony. It's a colony gainer. And while I like that, having 9 ships in the warp, that's almost half. It rarely happens. And Remora, or Remora, it's just such a better power. So that's what's going to advance here. Next up, we have Citadel. Citadel lays encounter cards down on planets. They're defensive additions. And Citadel's up against Sneak. Now, Sneak, well, as the defense, after you lose an encounter that results in losing 1 or more of your home colonies, you may use this power to immediately place your ships from the losing encounter on any one planet in the offense's home system instead of sending them to the warp. It's a sneak attack. I actually like Sneak. Sneak gives you a reason to lose. And, Sneak is very powerful. Probably too powerful, but Sneak, it's good. Fodder versus Reincarnator here. Fodder gets to add in a bunch of encounter cards that are higher than their card, lower than their opponent's card. Reincarnator gets a new power every time they lose, and that's going to change out. And I know in a previous video, I like Insect. I like those additional powers. But the difference is Reincarnator doesn't really get to control their power. I do think it's better than Fodder. I am going to give Reincarnator that. But I'm going to give Sneak the win over Reincarnator just because there's more going on there. That being said, Remora, passive abilities, it's better than Sneak. Okay. Trader versus Klutz. Trader, very simple concept. I trade you my hand. You give me your hand back. Klutz, whenever you draw more than 1 card from the deck, including when you're dealt your initial hand, use this power to drop 1 or 2 of the drawn cards. The dropped cards are discarded without replacements. Whoops, I dropped this attack 1. Sorry. Whenever you place more than 1 of your ships on the same planet, use this power to examine any one other ship on a planet in the same system next to the planet you are placing ships on. Then drop it. The drop ship goes to the warp. Sorry, Blue. I didn't mean to. Oh, well, I guess your ship's now in the warp. They both prune. Trader does it a little more simply. Schizoid has these alternate win conditions that people are trying to guess. Schizoid's annoying, I would say. Plant, you get to use the power to graft, take over any one player in whose home system you have at least a colony, take their power until the end of the encounter. The downside is it happens in planning. So while I like stealing a power, you have to first get the power or get the colony in their system. And because of the restrictions on it and the plant doesn't help you in the early game, I'm giving the win here to Schizoid. But Trader, I like Trader more than I like Schizoid. Mutant, you're going to draw up to 8 cards. Very simply. You can take that from other players. You can take that from the deck. The Claw, you choose one non-negotiate card from your starting hand to be your Claw. Place it face down on your sheet, then draw a card from the deck. And whenever another player plays a copy of the Claw, you use this power to reveal your Claw. After the end of the current encounter, choose a planet in that player's home system and move it to your home system, sending any ships on it to the warp, making it a new home planet for yourself, although you do not get to establish a colony on it. Then return your Claw card to your hand and choose a card from your hand to become your new Claw. Each stolen planet in your home system counts as a foreign colony towards your win, even if it's inhabited by other players. If you gain a colony on a stolen planet in your home system, that colony counts as a home colony for you, not a foreign colony. Yeah, the Claw is weird, but it's going to happen. I like the weirdness of it more than just always having an 8-card hand. Don't get me wrong, Mutant solid, and I'll run with it. Squee versus AI. Squee, the first time I saw it, when I was play testing, I was play testing with my friend and his siblings, and they were very good Cosmic players. And hey, you need good family dynamics. I think the youngest at the time was junior high, so like 12, 13. So imagine a preteen, teenage girl getting a power named Squee. It was fun. It was very cute. You have the power of unimaginable cuteness as the defense after the encounter cards are selected, but before they're revealed. You may use this power to bat your eyes at the offense and look too adorable to attack. The offense must choose whether to concede or continue. If the offense concedes, you win the encounter. Immediately proceed to the resolution phase. The played encounter cards are discarded. If the offense continues, the offense must send any 3 of their ships to the warp. It's a nice idea. I wish it happened before cards were played. It could happen before Alliance. It could happen after. It could happen in the launch phase. Really is when it could happen. But it doesn't. And that's what just isn't great from that. Now AI, as you probably just saw, is a pain to actually go search for. So we're doing it manually here. I believe it was old enough. Yeah, it's an Eon's power. So with AI, you have the power to think ahead. At the start of every player's turn, add 1 token to this sheet. As a main player, before allies are invited, you may use this power to look at a number of hidden elements up to the number of tokens on this sheet. The hidden elements you can inspect are cards in players' hands, cards on the top of the decks, or sets of essence cards, hidden alien powers, face down cards hidden by players, Miser's Hoard, etc. Tokens accumulate, they're not spent. I like AI. More so. I just really don't like Squee. Squee was nice idea, but it just doesn't work. I say knowledge is power, but that knowledge doesn't help you win the game. It can help you win an encounter, but when there's nothing you can do about it, it doesn't actually help you win. The Claw, on the other hand, has a way to actually help you win the game. And I'm going to continue that. The Claw actually helps you win the game. So, Remora, Claw, they've moved on. Next up. All right, we have Force, we have Pacifist. Don't get me wrong, I can't imagine Force actually advancing here. But we'll do what we can. Sorry, this is what happens when you don't silence the phone. Force. Anyway, while I'm looking for force, should have been looking over in the Odyssey folder. Pacifist plays negotiate. They win. Unless they're up against another negotiate, in which case they make a deal. So there's really no downside to them playing a negotiate. Here we go. Force. You have the power to interlope. If you are not a main player or ally, after encounter cards are selected and before they are revealed, you may use this power to choose a main player, look at the chosen player's encounter card, and you may swap that card with one from your hand. If you swapped cards and that player wins the encounter or makes a deal, gain 3 rewards. If that player loses the encounter or fails to make a deal, send 2 of your ships from your colonies to the warp. And that player gains a reward. So you're trying to help somebody. That's the plan. But I don't like the idea that I'm not involved. I've never liked the idea that I'm not involved. So Pacifist is going to move on. Oracle lets you see your opponent's card, and then you make a decision. Zilch is an Odyssey card. And I believe Zilch was a red card. Yeah, Zilch would have to be. Zilch, you secretly choose a Destiny card that matches the player color, does not have a hazard warning, place it face down on this sheet. That player is ordained. If the ordained player wins the game alone, you win the game with them. If the ordained player would be part of a shared win that does not include you, you win by yourself. And you can still win normally. Zilch is really good. And again, I like powers that give me the potential to win while not stopping me from winning in other ways. Chrysalis is a power I can never quite spell. Chry. There we go. You place 8 tokens on this sheet. You have the power to change at the start of any encounter. Use this power to discard 1 token from the sheet. If there's no tokens left, then you get to look at the top 10 flares of the unused flare deck. Choose one of those 10 flares corresponding to an alien that doesn't have game setup text. You become that alien for the rest of the game. So it's a permanent change, but until then, you have no power. Guardian, another Odyssey power, is going to be something I don't remember. It is, of course, in the last color folder I look for. Here we go. Here's Guardian. You have the power to guard, of course. As an ally, after encounter cards are revealed, use this power to change the value of your ships for encounter totals. Each of your ships is worth the number of ships that the main player on your side has in the encounter. For example, if the main player on your side has 3 ships, and each of your ships is worth 3. So, Guardian, very simple math. Chrysalis at least gives you the shot at a good power, a really good power later on. But Zilch is much better. That being said, Pacifist, still a much stronger option. And it's all the double bluffing that you can do there. Okay. Porcupine and Human both had auto advances. So, Human gives you +4, and you can be Cosmic Zapped, and you win. Porcupine, as a main player or ally, if both players revealed attack cards on your side would lose, you may use this power to discard any number of cards from your hand, then add or subtract for your side's total an amount equal to the number of cards you discarded. It's plain and simple. It can be really good, but you're going to run out of cards very quickly. Human, constant, very good. Clone beat Mind, and then we're left with Boomerang versus Schizoid Alternate Timeline. And of course, we're going to be left with 2 Odyssey powers. So, Boomerang. Here we go. Boomerang. Game setup. Take all but one of your ships from each of your home planets and place them on this sheet. So you're going to have, 15 ships here? You have the power to return as the offense or an ally when you send at least one ship from a colony into the encounter. You may use this power to send up to 3 ships from this sheet as well. If you have no ships left on this sheet and occupy at least 3 planets in your home system, you win the game. You may still win via the normal method. This is weird, right? Then we have Schizoid Alternate Time. So Schizoid, we've seen Schizoid, but Schizoid Alternate Timeline. Game setup, you're going to choose a condition card from your Essence card set, place it face down, shuffle the remaining 7 condition cards as deck, place them face down near this sheet. You have the power to shift reality. As a main player, after you lose an encounter or fail to make a deal, the opposing main player draws a card at random from your condition deck and places it face up on this sheet when any players would win by the normal, not alternate, victory conditions. Use this power to prevent that win. And that's when you can be zapped. When any players would win by one of the conditions face up or face down, use this power to declare them the winners. And again, that's when you can be zapped. I feel like Schizoid can be zapped a bit too much, but I'm still going to take them over Boomerang because while I like the idea of not losing a bunch of ships early, it's really tough to regain a home colony, and that's what I fear is going to happen to Boomerang. So, Clone versus Schizoid. Clone's keeping their own card, which can be really good. It also leads to zapping if they get like the 40. So I am moving Schizoid on, but Schizoid does not pass the human test, and that's going to put Pacifist versus Human. And I think that's where we're going to stop it. We're going to stop it there. We've got a few more of these. We will be done with rounds 1, 2, and 3 very shortly. I promise. All right. We've got, just to show you, we've got the throwback bracket, the TikTok bracket, and then the sadist bracket. So there's 3 left. I will probably wrap up all 3 in the next video, so next week, and then we will move on from there. So thank you all for watching. Appreciate your time. And until next time, keep brushing up your game. Take care.